I'm yours if you're mine. Don't wanna waste no more time, 'cause I wanna live, I wanna love you the right way, and I wanna fall asleep, then wake up with you beside me.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching. So I'm here again with Brett, and today we're going to be answering some of your questions. I posted a status on Facebook and Twitter asking what you wanted to know from a guy's perspective on dating. I know dating can be crazy, and the way men think and the way women think is complete opposite. So we're just going to go through a couple questions that you guys had, and we'll let him do most of the talking, but I'll fill in on anything that I suggest as well. So if you guys want to hear them, then please keep watching.
You look great though. Love your makeup.
Thanks, Bubble. Okay. So before we answer some of these questions, Brett, you're gonna have to go into single guy mode, and
It's gonna be so hard.
I know, but majority of your life you were single, so before me, of course, all the rules and exceptions change, but
That's what she thought.
so yeah, we'll just go through some of these.
So I'm gonna be single Brett today, guys. So Carli's not my girlfriend right now, so I am single for the next 12 minutes?
Well, it's probably gonna be like a half hour, and then we're gonna have to cut it.
30 minutes.
Alright, let's get started. So, Nichelle, what a cool name, Nichelle. Never heard that. Nichelle wants to know, do guys actually enjoy the cute little gifts we give them, i.e. cards?
Single Brett says towards getting gifts and not being in a relationship, that's a little bit too clingy, in my opinion. I think for the girl to give a guy a present before you guys really make it serious, it just seems a little just unorthodox. I feel like the guy should get the girl the present, and if you smother a guy with presents too quick, it might scare him away. So that's just my opinion. But if you're in a relationship, of course, I love gifts from her, and I just like thoughtful stuff. It doesn't have to be looked at as a gift. It could be just a simple, I love you, you make my world, or anything. So
okay, so I'm gonna cut you off for 1 second. So like, let's say, I mean, because when we first started dating, you surprised me with a few gifts, which was okay. But I think like if the holidays are coming, or if it's your birthday and you're kind of just talking to someone, don't you think then it would be
well,
okay?
yeah, well that's an exception.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you want to exchange gifts, but it would be awkward for the one person, because if that one person got the person a present and the other one didn't, then you would be in a weird situation that I don't think anybody would want to be in. But make sure before you buy a guy a present, if you're not in a relationship with him, that you try to get a good read on whether you think he would appreciate it or get you one back. So that's just the way I would go about it. But other than that, I think being thoughtful is a great thing. And for someone to look at that as a negative, it's just that you shouldn't waste your time as far as with that guy. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna just add a little something in here. So you said about cards. So from a girl's perspective, you think, oh my god, if a guy got me a card, that's like the cutest thing, and I want to get them cards to tell them how I feel. I personally don't think that's the best option for guys. Like cards, I mean, girls love cards. He knows I love cards, and in a relationship it's a different story. But I think if you're just dating, or if you're just starting to talk to somebody, maybe if you feel the need, you want to pick up something small for them. Maybe he mentioned once that his favorite candy was Kit Kats or Reese's, and you just stopped by the store and picked up a bunch of things. What?
I said,
yeah, that's my favorite. So maybe like little, like maybe like little thoughtful things.
Right.
If you guys are actually like talking, but if he's a jerk to you and it's just really new, I wouldn't even bother buying them gifts. Save that. Let them buy you gifts first, honey. Christina wants to know. This is a good one, Christina. Why don't men know they have something good in front of them and decide to go have their cake and eat it too? I think that's one of the biggest questions. Why do guys never? Why are they never satisfied with what they have? I think maturity is so big, because me and him, the first couple times around, it never worked out because he wasn't ready. And I think for a while, in my opinion, I think it's starting to change a little bit, but for a while, like, every single song on the radio was about getting mad bitches and going to strip clubs and going out with my boys and having sex with a million people. And
it's influencers. Yeah,
it is. It's influences. And, like, girls go and see Rihanna and Kesha, all these girls half naked, and they're like, oh, well, if I do all these things, that's what's going to make a guy like me, when in reality, that's complete opposite. If a guy is actually ready for a relationship, a guy wants a good girl. A guy doesn't want a girl that's going out every night, partying, drinking, taking shots. posting pictures half-wasted, half-naked, you know what I mean? So I think there's like a line where if you are looking for a relationship and you're looking for a good guy, you have to be a good girl. You have to be, right?
Yeah, of course. No, she's right. I mean, guys don't want to, guys never want to be satisfied, is the way. Keep us on our toes. Unless you're in deep love like me. I'm obviously every day is on my toes, but it's like when you're single, you don't want it to be one time and then it's like, all right, well, I've got my fix, I'm done. You know, that's what you want to avoid. But it's also knowing what the guy possesses, his characteristics, stuff that matches with you. You know, if you can't foresee a good relationship with him, don't waste your time. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, you know what you deserve, stuff like that.
Yeah, and if you're with somebody who isn't interested and you feel like you have to keep doing things to try and keep him interested, maybe you're not with the right guy, and that all comes down to you as an individual, knowing what you want in a relationship, knowing what you deserve in a relationship, and not settling for something less than that, because you're just wasting your own time, because he might not be the right guy for you, but he might be the right guy for somebody else. So I think everyone can change if they're with the right person, and I don't think if you start dating when you're really young, it can never work out. But I think when you're younger, your view on relationships and your view on what you want is so different. And you have to go through a bunch of bad relationships, so to say, to learn what you do and you don't like. So if you're young and you're like, why is every guy an asshole? Just wait it out. Just have fun for now. Work on yourself, because I promise you, it takes a while for guys to mature. Sometimes they never do.
It really depends on what you surround yourself with as a person, your friends, everything. So preserve your pride, you know what I mean, as a girl. Don't let anybody walk all over your pride.
And ladies, I'm going to say this right in the beginning because it's that important. Do not sleep with a guy on the first date or the second date. We waited a really long time until we did anything, because I just think you need to work on your emotional relationship before it gets physical.
It's not the reason I stuck around.
No. Babe, you know what I'm saying, but like it keeps
definitely
some mystery, and it makes you be able to form an emotional relationship on a deeper level, because if you just go right into the sexual stuff, then you form a relationship just on sexual stuff.
Well, let me be the yang. And it all stems back to the person, really. You just gotta make sure you find a good person. Make sure the guy you have is a good egg, because, you know what I mean, a lot of,
good little egg. This is a good little egg.
There's a lot of fakes out there.
Alright, that was a long question.
That was a long answer.
Sorry, we had a lot to say.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is from Cynthia. There's a lot of likes on it, but she's saying it's not really related to this video, but I like this question. She wants to know, not relating to this topic, but I've really been wondering how you both deal with jealousy in social media. It's a constant issue with my boyfriend and I. I saw another comment like this, where someone was like, well, how do you put up with your boyfriend liking and commenting on other girls' pictures on Instagram? No. First of all, he's your boyfriend. He should not be liking or commenting any other girl's pictures. Like, why? Why would you be doing that? Because you're interested in other girls? Like, honey, like, why are you with me then? Like, that's not... Yeah, he knows better. He wouldn't, but
our situation's a little different, because I'm not commenting on girls' pictures to be like, oh, you're hot. I'm commenting on girls' pictures to help them, you know what I mean? So
but for your...
We have a mutual understanding, and we both know, I mean, like, you just get into the relationship, you know? So there's no ifs, ands, or buts as far as that goes, and I would never do anything like that anyway. But I think if you are with somebody and there's a guy and you see him sending out Snapchats, you see him commenting on Instagram, you see him Facebook liking, it's just red flags.
Yeah.
All it means is that he's, like I said, not satisfied, and he's looking for another way to wet his whistle. You know, another chip to dip into dip. Another chip to dip into his dip. He's just looking He's just looking for another notch on his belt.
Of course, guys can have celebrity crushes or like certain girls that they think are hot, but obviously you know they won't get with. So that's a little different. I think if it's like someone who's like more well-known or something like that. I want to say
something to Cynthia, though. If you and your boyfriend go through that means, and you're both jealous, that means that you both have love for each other. Find a way to work through it, and you'll be fine. You just got to make sure that he knows what you want and you know what he wants. If you guys keep catching yourself commenting on other people's pictures and stuff like that, then obviously something's wrong. You have to work it out, but that's what a relationship's about. You know, you don't just do it because it's fun to say, oh, I got a girlfriend, oh, I got a boyfriend. You know what I mean? It's a uphill battle for a long time, and if you're committed and 100% in love and about it and real, then stuff like that shouldn't be big, hurdles. You should be able to get through stuff like that. So he loves you. Jealousy stems from from having a love, I feel like, you know what I mean? I get jealous sometimes. I mean, it's hard to walk around, you know what I mean, with her. Not that I don't appreciate it, because it's kind of like a compliment, but there's situations, you know, if we're out and there's alcohol being drank at the place we're at, and some guy wants to be slick, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, I will step in, you know?
I want to add something. If you see your significant other doing these things, instead of maybe the natural reaction to just be like, oh, well, he's gonna do that, I'm gonna do the same thing with guys. Don't do that. If you have a problem, like we've talked about in our videos multiple times, like it's all about communication. You go to them and be like, listen, like I saw you liking this girl's pictures and commenting on it. Like I personally don't appreciate it, and I would like if you don't do it anymore. Say it calmly, don't freak out, don't flip out, and if it continues to happen, then you know you have a problem there and that something obviously isn't right. And in that case, honey, break up with him and move on, because you're better than that, and he'll learn eventually. If it wasn't from you, it'll be from somebody else, but no.
And granted, it's easy for us to sit up here and tell you guys. I know it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, of course.
You know, gotta get through it, and you gotta really take the necessary action that you think is best.
And I can sit here and stand behind everything I'm saying, because I mean, yes, I found the perfect guy, but I always was dating, you know, I always was looking for love and the right guy, and I've met a bunch of assholes, and I've seen what I want and what I don't like, and that's how I got to the point I am now, and that's how I got to the point where I was when I first met him. And I mean, once you realize what you want and what you don't want, even write it down, make a list of things you don't want, so you don't settle and you don't allow people to treat you how you don't want to be treated. That's as simple as it is. And I think this day and age, girls are too used to being treated horribly by guys. I mean, you have Rihanna, for instance, who gets beat up by her boyfriend and then is back with him publicly, which I think is just absolutely horrific. And listen, like, this is an age of women being very powerful, and I stand behind all of you guys, and even if it means you're single till you're 50 years old, so be it. Don't settle for a guy just because you want love. Find it elsewhere, within yourself, within activities, within your family, and then the right person will come along. And if they don't, just keep looking, you know, keep going out, having fun. And a guy is an asshole to you, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Like, there are so many assholes out there. It's just life. But there are good ones, so you gotta go through the bad ones to find the good ones.
Right.
Monica! I love you too. She wants to know, is it okay for the girl to call first after a date that went really well, or does that look desperate? This is a really good one. I want to hear your opinion, and then I'm gonna give my opinion.
In my opinion, I don't think the girl should call. It should be the guy pursuing, and if he doesn't call you, then nothing was there. And that's just my opinion, cut and dry. Nothing else needs to be said.
I like that opinion. What are you doing?
Especially if you started with me like that.
But I did. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the book called He's Just Not That Into You, but if you haven't, I highly recommend reading it, because I read it like 5 times, and there's also a movie out, and it's really, really good, and it answers a lot of questions I think that maybe we won't get to, but I don't know, I guess I'm kind of old school. I personally think that you should wait till the guy reaches out to you.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, just because, I don't know, like,
trust me, if they're interested,
yeah, exactly. If a guy's into you, like, he's gonna be thinking about you. He's gonna want to make plans, and if he's not, maybe the spark wasn't there yet, and maybe, like, for you in your own head, you're like, oh my god, that date went so well, like, we're gonna be in love, and oh my god, I can't wait. And in his mind, it was like, yeah, that was a cool girl, like, whatever, and like, that's it. But I mean, not saying that something can't come from that, but wait to hear from him. That's in my opinion.
And listen, if you're one of those people that you need to text him, you know, wait a few days.
Yeah.
And then get a feel from that. But a good way to realize would be if you texted him a few days later and there's nothing, then you knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
Really, just depends on the situation when a girl should text.
Because what if the guy's really shy, or like, you know?
No, a guy could be shy, but you need to get these types of clues when you're in person with them.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you see all these people being catfished, you know what I mean? Like, interpersonal conversation, is that a word?
Yeah, I think so.
Interpersonal.
But I get you, like, that's so important.
Yeah, talking to somebody and saying things and seeing how they react genuinely is very important very important, which is why like a lot of these online relationships don't really last, because I get on the phone and talk to any girl for a year and I could make it out like I'm the best freaking guy in the world. I could be the next George Clooney, you know what I mean? But if you're in front of the girl and you wanted to talk like that, I guarantee you find out a lot about each other and you'll get those clues that you need, whether you make the text that next day or you should expect one or stuff like that. So these are all things, remember, and like we said, preserve your pride. As a woman, you need to preserve your pride. You can't come out desperate, because that really like it makes scare a guy away, because a guy doesn't want that. A guy wants a challenge, and you know, when a guy knows that a girl knows a guy wants a challenge, it makes him that much more like, I gotta really try, you know what I mean? So give him a challenge. Guys need challenges. The right guys do. I was challenged heavily.
And not like a severe, like some people are like, what kind of twisted games can I play to like make it
don't play the games. I hate the games.
Don't even start with the games, because if you want the games played back to you, like don't dish it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you like games, if that's something that then that's great, but
no one likes games.
I hate games, and I know she does too, and she wasn't like that. At first though, she did a very good job at making it realize that she wasn't gonna come on a silver platter, you know what I mean? It was
step up your game.
Right, I had to really know what I wanted, and it took me a little while, but it definitely, I'm not regretting any decisions. So
Amber wants to know, is it appropriate to still talk to your ex when you're in a new relationship? What is the man's view on that one? No.
If you're, if it's your ex-wife and she has your kids, you know what I mean?
Right. Of course, that's
but
so different.
no, exes will do anything to put their ex into trouble too. So if something happens, make sure, like we said, you know what's going on, you know the situation, because you don't want to make any harsh judgments too fast. So if your counterpart's deliberately talking to their ex, something's going on. And we hear this a lot, you hear about people going back to their ex and talking, and
or like catching them texting.
Yeah, like you need to make sure that if you see anything involving the ex, that you figure out what the hell's going on right there. All right, so this way you could really make the right judgment, because that's going to be important. You don't want to write them off immediately. You just want to figure out what's going on. If they're talking to them, to be like, oh, how's everything going? How you doing? How's everything going? I'm so happy. It could be a good conversation. But then again, if he or her is fooling around, that's something you got to find out, and then you make the necessary action. But as far as talking to your ex, I don't necessarily think it's terrible if you guys are just seeing how you're doing. If there's like a friend thing.
I just think it's like.
It's kind of stupid, but it's stupid. But like if it's just like, hey, it's if they just want to see how you're doing, like I could see why. You know what I mean? But like, as far as keeping friends with your ex when you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, no, I wouldn't think that was right.
Betty wants to know how to overcome trust issues. How can I trust my ex again when he has let me down so many times? It depends. What did he let you down with? Did he cheat on you? Because I don't think cheating is ever acceptable. And if he did cheat on you, then you deserve a lot better. And unless he's doing 1,000,001 things to prove how much he messed up and it was only one time and it'll never happen again and yada yada yada, maybe give him another chance. But really, like, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's what I think, at least, right?
Yeah.
For now, that will be all for the questions. It's kind of fun going through all of these and giving our advice, and I think the main thing learned, hopefully, from this video is that if you want to be in a great, healthy relationship, you really need to focus on you first, and you need to set your own goals, set your own restrictions, what you want, what you don't want, what you'll accept, what you won't accept, and like you keep saying, like, hang on to your pride, because you will find someone right out there for you. And even if you feel like you're with the right person and they're treating you horrible, guess what? That's not the right person. You deserve more. You're better than that. And if you're going through a breakup right now, don't worry, it will get better. And it's these hard, miserable times in life that make you a better person, that teach you life lessons. And I don't know, there's a sprinkler going off outside. I hope you guys can't hear that, but you have anything to say, Bubs?
No, just I love this girl next to me.
I love you. I'm just happy that, I had all those miserable experiences, because then, again, it made me set an expectation, so to say. Like, he knew he had a lot to do to prove that he was a good person, and he does it every single day, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I did. I set my expectations, and he's been going above and beyond ever since. So best of luck to all of you guys out there. Hopefully this video helped a little bit, and if you guys want more videos like this, feel free to leave some questions below and maybe we will do another one. But until next time, see you guys later.
I'm yours if you're mine. Don't wanna waste no more